Okay, here we are again. So we left off, we just taken over
Bring me to my men.
Reich, which is quite good. And both Carl and our wizard have some skills that need to be distributed. Uh, yeah, so we'll just keep bumping up his religion trait, and we'll get a little bit of public order out of him. Make our cities less likely to revolt. And Carl is a statesman looking kind of guy. He should know how to keep people happy with his stunning good looks and jawline and threats from his big effing hammer.
But Carl.
Yes, Carl. Ah, And for a wizard, he's also got stuff that works better on the campaign map, and then some spells for use in actual battle. I don't have anybody that really benefits a whole lot from this buff that he's got, but I need to put a point into it to open up the rest of his spell tree. And we'll give him this one here, which is good at just knocking over and damaging a bunch of lightly armored infantry, which is pretty much all we're fighting at the moment. So that'll cost 8 points of our blue magic globe. Causes moderate damage, can disrupt formation because it knocks everybody over. It's a big teardrop shaped effect that covers basically a unit size. Strong versus multiple guys because it'll hit every single individual unit, so if there's more guys that you hit with it, it does the same amount of damage to each individual unit. So just one guy with a large health pool, not going to do much. Bunch of really weak guys, they all explode. Sometimes literally. Neat. Okay, as for our building here, yeah, we can go into the browser and take a look. So yeah, we have a training field in both Ubersreich and Altdorf, our capital. And we can take a look here. That training field, rally field, barracks set of structures only goes up to level 3. Handily enough, the smaller towns also only go up to level 3. And Altdorf goes up to level 5, being a major city. So we really don't need this in our capital. And we probably could have stood to demolish that last turn, as you don't get any benefits for having more than one of them. So we'll get rid of that. We also notice in here that this corruption bit is where that religion comes in. This yellow fist symbol is untainted, basically your average human or just a regular person type religion. And this green triangle is Skaven, the Ratman. And they can live directly under your cities.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Still haven't figured out exactly how to root out their undercities. I know there's various ways. A lot of the individual characters can go and discover them, and then you demolish them as though they were just another building. I think it's because the AI hasn't actually put any under any of my cities in any of my campaigns, and I haven't been able to root them out. Because they can spread their corruption just by having, like, a character walking through your area, or being in a settlement adjacent to yours, and you get some bleed over. So you're not often going to have 100% your own religion in any given area.
I refuse.
So I feel like we need to get rid of those guys. And we also want to get Aelhart
I command here.
under our control.
By Sigma, no.
Well, this Helmgart here has a pretty strong garrison, and it's also a fort. Like, it has its own unique set of walls and towers. So it's actually a huge pain in the ass to take over. And they have a whole
I'll ignore
other army there on top of it. So that's like
that. Yes.
19, 20 guys total, plus the towers, plus the walls. I've got 14, maybe 17. If I recruit some people before heading out.
Summon the Elector Counts.
I don't think that's going to be enough. So let's see who else we can recruit. So these are recruiting more lords. So guys who are similar to Karl, they can have their own entire army under them. However, these guys are not like Karl in that they aren't real characters. Like, all of these guys are just randomly generated. They have no real backstories or personalities, although some of them have outrageous mustaches. Legendary lords would be guys like Karl, or this guy, Volkmar the Grim, the Empire's pissed off Pope. But since he's a special guy, we gotta do something special to get access to him, which is build a temple building, which... a Temple of Sigmar. Yeah, that requires like a 4th level city. That's gonna take a while to get.
Now.
So when looking at the lords, these Arc Lectors are basically mini popes. They're the baby version of Volkmar. And the generals are the baby version of Karl. So these guys are beat sticks. And this guy's got a hefty bonus versus large. Whereas that guy's got plus income and minus construction time. I feel like this guy would be most useful at the moment. As I'm not fighting a whole lot of large entities at the moment. Yeah.
Who calls? Praise Sigma.
Yeah, so we'll get him. And Karl is a pretty inspirational guy. Magnificent chin. Wonderful plumage on his helmet. So our guys start with a couple of levels already. Let's see. 30, 55, 45, 70, 85. Yeah, I'm hopefully not going to need to do the lightning assault stuff with him all that much. So we'll buff up his armor a bit, make him a bit tougher to kill. And we'll snipe the sword from our wizard, who shouldn't be fighting anything, yada yada yada, loses if someone throws a cheese sandwich at him.
Who calls?
So he's not going to be able to go anywhere just yet.
The nation calls.
And maybe we'll get lucky.
We cannot.
I mean, we cannot. Why can you cannot?
Bring me to my men. By the comet. I see no other option. To battle!
Any particular reason why you cannot? Just weirdness? Okay, just weirdness. Cool. Yeah, we're basically just going to load up on swordsmen with him.
Yes.
We'll be deleting that. We'll get a population surplus soon. We're still researching. But we needed to establish a trade agreement with Nordland.
Greetings on behalf of the Empire. Now what brings you here with a sheathed blade?
Well, we'll start with this and see what happens.
I will not obey.
Nice. Jackass.
Yes? It is good to see fellow sons of the Empire this day.
Yeah, you can tell roughly how stuff is going to go based on the color of these. If it's red, it ain't happening. Wow, all of these guys are salty with me.
By the light of the lady, our neighbors in the east deign to visit. I hope you bring glad tidings.
I bring you shit I'm trying to pawn.
Unwise.
Screw you.
Apparently they don't want your pawnables.
It's great. Like, I looted it off a guy. I smashed with a hammer. It was wonderful. Okay, so regular diplomacy ain't working so good. So let's do some salty bullshit. Nordland. So this is a unique thing that the Empire can do within the Empire. They can artificially improve relations between people. We want to get this trade agreement with Nordland, so we're going to spend some of this fancy prestige stuff to improve relations between us. And you see how every time you do that, the cost goes up a little bit. The middleman. The elector counts exist inside a political crucible in which friendships between electors and their states can be subtly forged or sundered through clandestine political maneuvering. By engaging in a spot of amicable arbitration, you have improved relations between Reikland and Nordland. Yes, we have waggled our respective mustaches most skillfully. And I believe it takes about a turn for that to properly fall into effect.
Ready.
And yeah, we do have two recruitment pools. One is the local one, which is from the province you're currently in. The other is a global recruitment pool, which can pull stuff from anywhere. But it costs about twice as much and takes twice as long. So I don't particularly like using it unless I have to, and I want this guy to be able to move next turn. So I believe all that is good. Yeah, we are going to end the turn there, and remember to follow up on our political stuff starting next turn. Doot doot! Okay. Political stuff.
By Sigma's will, come in peace.
I'll ignore that.
Seriously? So it says it's going up to a total of 33. We're slowly improving.
What? Surely an agreement will be reached. For are we not all sons of Sigmar? King Llewellyn, our neighbors in the east deign to visit. I hope you bring glad tidings.
Oh, the gladdest. I also bring more stuff to pawn.
No.
You foppish French flautist. Okay.
Absolutely not.
Those guys are recruiting again.
Now,
Okay, so
I am Prince and Emperor.
I have a scheme in my brain. I'm gonna try to ambush these bastards by going
Pick
up
up the pace.
to here and selecting this ambush stance. So where
This
I'm
is my
at,
right by Sigmar's crown.
they have a 70% chance not to see me.
I will marshal the men.
And I'm gonna march this guy within that red circle so that those guys will get ambushed.
The Empire.
So if they come to attack this solo guy, who's a super vulnerable target, then they should get ambushed by Carl. If they don't get ambushed by Carl, Carl can still at least reinforce him. And we'll get him to start recruiting some boys of his own. And we're going to be getting super tight on money here. Unless we start taking care of that.
Oh no.
Growth, casual. And, oh my gosh, is that seriously the only thing that gets us any money? I think it is. Oh, there's also the clay pits. Yeah, so we have a just pure money-making building, a weaving house that makes cloth, apparently. We have a clay pit, which will give us some additional income, as well as some pottery, which we can maybe sell to the Frenchie. And some paved roads that'll make movement quicker, provided people are starting their turn in Altdorf. It also provides some growth, and hey, it's super cheap. Even if this fight does start up, I don't think we're going to need the wizard. So I think we'll try to get him some more experience and help our research out by running him over there
I'll send it to the skies.
and attempting to steal some tech.
Prophecy in the sky.
Oh, yippee, he didn't get himself horrifically injured. How nice. And I'd pretty much always go for this one. Makes it more likely for him to succeed and can drastically decrease the cost of doing stuff like that, which is the best way to level him up. So yeah, we'll take that, and he can toddle his way back over in a bit. And we've only got the one province. We've only got those 3 people. Nothing else much happened. Let's take a bum through here. Actually, this one we want.
The Empire.
Okay, so Wissenland is not
Who
friendly.
calls?
Middenland is not friendly.
Sigma's will.
Talabekland is friendly.
so?
as is the Golden Order. So Reikland.
Greetings on behalf of the Empire. Now what brings you here with a sheathed blade?
I want to keep it sheathed.
I don't agree.
Lovely.
He wants to fight.
The Empire. I will set aside my studies for a moment to hear your words.
How nice of you. How do you read wearing that ridiculous mask, anyway? Yeah.
Of course.
Hey. Finally, somebody who's not a raging jackass. So, let's see if we can get Reikland a little more on our side, as well as Nordland. So that's increased those a little bit more. Again, I think it'll take a while for that to take effect. And okay, there we go. Let's end this again and see where we end up. Yay! Aha! You've been ambushed. Just as planned. Okay, what do they got? They got a beat stick, which we will apply our beat stick to. Bunch of infantry and a couple of ranged units. Not too bad at all. And this is an ambush, so we are going to have just a wonderful, wonderful pounce upon them. And in this case, we are going to try our best not to let any of them escape, because they'll probably just run back to their hold, where we will have to beat them a second time. So, survivors, what's does? Oh, it's raining, and there's lightning. And oh yeah, so previous Total War games were pretty, but like, look at this background. Look at that sunset over those mountains way off into the distance. And these are just some of the, a kind of generic German-looking mountainside. Some of these things get crazy with, like, floating pyramids and stuff like that in the background. Yes, we're working on making them bend the knee. But first, you need to smash the legs. I think there's a Karate Kid thing in there somewhere. Sweep the leg. Jimmy, Johnny, Gerald. Okay, so Halberdiers up in front with Carl. Take out the heavy armor there. Hans Frankenwerter. Oh, yeah. Oh, and he doesn't even have a beard. He has got to go. Jeez, Franz, what are you doing? Oh, whatever it is, you're not doing it well. God, Franz. At least you're wearing a helmet. Not dragging the whole team down that way. Cavalry at the back to just smash right into those archers. And we'll set up our spearmen back here. Once again with the crossbowmen behind on guard mode. Handgunners can go more towards the back here, where they can shoot at people who do not have shields. And we'll just place our free company over there. Also put them in guard mode. Same with the gunners. And we'll have the guy who this army was marching to attack coming in as a reinforcement way back there. However, just like how Carl started out, he doesn't have a horse, so he's probably not going to get here. Because cardio is apparently not a thing in the Empire. Okay, let's go. And we're just going to start off paused. Handgunners go into those spearmen. Free company can go into that free company. You guys can go there. Halberds and Carl into him. Archers into those spearmen. And then just walk down the line with our swordsmen. You guys can just go in that direction. Oh, it's a beautiful sight. Oh, there go the lights going. Oh my gosh. Carl, you just yeeted that guy into the next dimension. Oh, it's brutal. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, lovely. Wonderful. Just as planned. There's our guy. We can get him hoofing it over here. Yeah, those guys are not making it into any sort of combat, so let's flank them.
Ready for war! Formation march!
Those guys take an extra morale hit if you hit them from behind. Okay, the free company is running away. You guys can go after them. Get our Reiksguard to start chasing down the free company, as they're the quickest thing they've got, and I want them dead. Okay, he wasn't doing anything. You guys aren't doing anything. Pile onto there. You guys. After those crossbows. Actually, wait, no. You guys chase down the crossbows, because you have a chance of hitting them. You guys run down those spearmen, although you're evenly matched. It's not going to go very well. Carl, what the fuck? You're getting your ass kicked. It's not a sword. You don't need to hit him with the pointy end.
No, honey, it's stick 'em with the pointy end.
Doesn't need to. He's using a hammer.
Crossbowmen! For France! We are Sigmar's heirs!
Yeah, you may be Sigmar's heirs, but Sigmar is super disappointed in you right now.
For the Empire! Heading out!
Get out of there, Carl. Now you can run in and finish him off. Okay. So if they get down to less than 1/10 of what they started with, they don't get to come back. The unit counts as wiped out. You guys can start running that way. You guys can start running that way.
Call France for Heldenhammer!
Yes, Carl, your master of your own name is an inspiration.
By God, Maraz!
Who are you guys chasing? 14, that's acceptable. Keep chasing them. Keep shooting them.
Swordsman! Ready! Sigma! Reichsguard Knights! We are ready! Ulrich's wrath on them! Sigma! Reichsguard Knights! To battle! Retreat! I will not stand idle! Reichsguard Knights! Swordsmen! The Empire endures! War! War! For Heldenhammer! For the twin-tailed comet! Formation! March!
And, of course, there's Conroy Gutbub. Oh, I didn't check his name before. That's highly unfortunate.
Swordsman! For the twin-tailed comet! Attack!
Ah, no, you guys are gonna be shooting our own guys. And you can zoom right out and make sure you're getting a hold of everybody. I think those guys are just gonna be able to get away. Maybe not. I don't know, they're awfully far away.
My subjects call! Obey!
Come on, Carl, see if you can get them more than one at a time.
Flee!
And actually, yeah, those guys are now dead because they got less than... or wait, no, they need less than 12. Shoot. Crump a few more of them. Those guys are likely going to get finished up. And it's those guys here that'll be the problem. And we did let their general get away with just a sliver of health so that he's super easy to kill in the next battle. Come on, one more. Bip.
Run!
Very good.
Moving now! Charge!
Clickety-clackety, Carl does an attackety. Oh, if you guys make it to the trees, you might be okay.
For the Heldenhammer! Retreat!
Actually, you guys might seriously be okay. My cavalry is slow as hell.
Flee!
Come on, Rickies. You guys have almost just about made it. Oh, but they look so fetching in their little feathered caps. Their brightly colored pantaloons. Oh yeah, that did not go well for him. Hmm. Well, they're not going to be in Warhammer 3. How you doing, Carl? Oh, those guys are almost dead.
Now we strike! Forward, man! Don't give them an inch! Soldiers of the Empire!
Okay, you guys spread out a little bit. I don't know how you guys aren't managing to kill anyone.
The good hand in us! As long as we draw Reikland, he will die! Run! Fight! We will hold! Ulrich will come! Ulrich's teeth! Retreat!
Lucas's head flew by you? That seems very unfortunate for Lucas.
To me, man!
He needs that.
You sure?
Well, I mean, he never used it much. We'll just tiptoe through the tulips. Oh, yeah, he's taking his cues from old Lucas. Seriously, Carl, how did you manage to miss that guy? Like, whatever you hit, you kill. That guy just kind of fell over and didn't die. That guy's dead. Ah, okay, yeah, they're down to 10, and now we got our marksman shooting in, which isn't so great, because Carl's kind of the biggest target there. Classic Carl. So he deployed 1,681, lost 35 of them, which ain't bad. And we also deployed Conroy. Thank you for your service, Conroy. He didn't do a whole lot, Mr. Conroy, but he tried. Now, they only have 37 guys remaining, so that might be a unit plus their super beat-up general. Which is good. Those are the kinds of forces that we can take on in that encampment down south. And unfortunately, we've learned not to really trust these numbers, but Reichsguard and Karl ran down quite a few people. Musketeers just shot into the backs of people quite well. Apparently one of our groups of swordsmen managed not to get involved. Oh yeah, those were the guys that I kind of didn't really have a target for, so just moved them, figured they could fill in a flank or something. Nobody's too hurt either, except for Karl. Classic Karl. Yeah. Mr. Frankenwarter kinda gave you a run for your money now, didn't he, Karl? Classic Frankenwarter. So any moment here, we'll be done with this. There we go. Oh, this time it seems to be indicating those numbers were accurate. Sure. Oh, let's see. I don't don't really want to take the hit to replenishment, so I think that might affect Carl, and I want him to heal up. And, oh yeah, we got rid of everybody except the general. So we could have actually finished him off. Because then that would have completely destroyed this army. But he doesn't have much health left. So yeah, I think we're going to execute these guys and buff up our leadership a bit. So, sorry about y'all heads. And there he is, toddling back to Helmgard. Toddle, toddle, toddle. Ooh. Oh, this is neat. We have an ungentlemanly agreement from Boris Todbringer, the Bringer of Tods. You've recently become privy to a huge financial debt that exists between two imperial states. Elector Counts Boris Todbringer of Midland has illicitly secured a large loan of unaccounted gold, secretly withdrawn from the state treasury of Reikland. Though there was a gentleman's agreement to pay back the loan over a reasonable timeline, Reikland has now decided to call in the entire debt without warning or reason, demanding it be paid back in full immediately. The two states have asked you to secretly help arbitrate this dispute without bringing it to the attention of the other electors. What action will you take? So we can side with Midland, or we can side with Reikland. And so my understanding of how this system works is that if you get somebody up to 10 fealty, you can peacefully join with them, and they will get, like, tacked onto your faction. You get all of their stuff. Whereas if you drop down to 0 with somebody, you become at war with them, which means that you can come over to them, kick their teeth in with no political repercussions, and take all their stuff. So I think it's in our best interest to try to buff up Reikland and reduce Midland. And besides, it seems like the Bringer of Tods has, already been backing secessionists and whatnot. So, with Reikland it is. Yes, and due to that fight that we were just in, Karl Franz has picked up a road warden to follow around. His lawmen patrol the roads and tracks of the Empire, protecting travelers and their goods. Oh, as well as a scribe to increase his campaign movement range. That's good.
I will marshal the men.
By Sigma, no!
Ah, this might actually be really
Bring me
good.
to my men.
Okay, let's level up Karl. And yeah, just to get out of the way, we will pick up Lightning Strike.
Who calls?
And I think that is going to about do it for this episode. So yeah, very well placed ambush that drew out the defenders of Helmgard, so that now we can attack it at our leisure and only have to deal with the garrison. Textbook. Okay, let's save this and I'll see you around.